So my next question for you would be, what aspects of online marketing are business owners, small business owners, not making the most of?
I think prioritizing having a website is a very important thing. I mean, it's not, you don't necessarily have to, it doesn't have to be very expensive or so, but something that, that it's your website, can be like a brochure, somewhere that people can, somebody who heard about you would want to readily just go and see, everything, read about you. Your social media might not necessarily give all that information in terms of a profile and all that, because like it is, social media is just for us to interact and engage, how, but then if I really want to dig deep and know about you, I would want to say, oh, do you have a web presence? Then I go to your website and then I see what you have and read about you, read about your clients, what you have done and all that. So I think that's one aspect that is very, very much underestimated, by small business owners, no matter the scale of a business, even if it's one page, even if it's 2-3 pages, but have a web presence, have somewhere that, people would readily go to. And also it adds to your brand value. It adds to your brand value. I always tell this story. I started my business, I registered my first company when I was in year 2 in the university, right? And prior to then, I used to trade with, I started doing graphic design. So I used to do designs. When people come to me, I'll do designs. Ugo, do design. Just give me 200 naira or 500 naira and all that. But I saw a magical transition when I started trading with a name outside of my personal name. So I come and say, oh, this is the company you work for. And then the next thing they'll go, okay, how much will you people do this? Before they won't ask you how much. How am I able to do this? They do it. But now they say how much, because there's an entity that seemingly is different from you, kind of, So it adds to brand value. Now the website thing came up when, and thankfully from the get-go, maybe because of the fact that I am also, a web designer, I prioritize web presence. So I had a website as far back as then, and trust me, it's very far. I'm speaking 2002, right there, like 2001, 2002. So, but now, one interesting thing that happened is, I remember there was a time, the time I had my first 6-digit job, and I was still living with my parents. I was just fresh out of school. I was still living with my parents. I had something to do with a particular organization, it's a financial institution. And I wrote a proposal. After the project I was brought into, the project didn't succeed, but I was able to make 1 or 2 connects there, which is also another thing I'll talk about, in business, what entrepreneurs don't focus on. So I came back and I wrote an email to people. But then I was working, remember, I was living in my parents' house. I didn't have an office. My office was my bedroom, my dining table. So, but then I had a business that had a web presence. It was a one-man business, but if you meet us online, if you meet the website, you would think it is one, big, because the website was, more catchy than a lot of organizations at that time. So I came back and then I wrote a proposal to the brand. I said, oh, XYZ is coming. Can you do this? Can we do this for you? I used to make t-shirts at the time. Okay. And so I made a proposal to do t-shirts for them. And then they gave me contract. I won't faint. 6 digits in multiples. So like, God, can I deliver this? I literally shut down my community, because all my guys, all the street boys, I brought all of them to the house. We're producing, I had, from that transaction, I had enough to buy some machines. So we're working. And I remember that I was supposed to deliver in 3 batches. And the head of admin then, they were very fascinated at, this small boy that has the kind of drive. And the first thing the head of admin said to me was, he made me a deal. He said, if you deliver, because we have an experience with people that don't deliver. So if you deliver for every time, so every Monday I was supposed to deliver a batch for 3 in weeks. So he said, every time you deliver timely, I'll give you a bonus. And so I did the first week, I did the second week, by the third week, on a Saturday, Baba now called me. Say, Ugo, where are you? I said, I'm at the office, I'm working. He said, hey, where's that your office address again? He said, it's in so area. I'm around. I said, okay, come now. So by the time he came to the house, right, I had like almost 15 guys in the compound. People then, so he greeted him, then they ushered him upstairs. So when you come into the house, we climb the stairs. My room was the first on the right. So he comes and he sees me, because my room was upside down, sweating. I wasn't wearing my top. You're using the pressing machine. Everywhere was hot. And his eyes just turned. He just stood for some minutes. He said, Ugo, is this your company? I said, yes. You know when you're in the hood, I the red. My eyes, I don't even look the man's face at all. I was just like, See, when you send me all those mails, when we visit your website, we think it is one big, yeah. He said, and you know what I used to do then? God. It's also faith. Permit me to quote the scripture. I say faith calleth things that be not as though they were. So I knew the structure of a business, but I was just the only person. So I started operating the structure even as the only person. So I will never send you an invoice from my personal email address then. So I'll send you an invoice from billing@identitanigeria.com. If you send me a mail and you tell me, I'm having this issue with my website and that, I will reply you because you sent me the mail, you know me. I'll reply you and then I'll copy support@identitanigeria.com. Then I'll now say to you, I'll do the normal customer service thing. We're very sorry, this and then, okay, we'll look into this very, very soon. Then I'll tag I'll tag support team. Please, now only me they do everything. So is it brand value? You understand? So now look at it in one sense, it's structure. That's the ideal structure. But I couldn't afford that structure at the time. So I was the one doing the work of the client service, doing the work of the support, doing the work of the account, finance team and all that. But because brand is perception. Because I was able to create the perception through my web presence. For all through my businesses, I would never do a business and use a public domain email like maybe Gmail or Yahoo. No. First thing I'm doing, if I want to start up a business, first thing I'm doing, I'm registering the business name quick. Once I register the business name, even before registering the business name, I secure the domain. And once I secure the domain, I register the business, I do the name search and all that. Those are very important to me. From day one, I'm operating with even before the website is ready, I'm operating with the brand identity online, reflected from the domain. So these are little things, these are little things that if small business owners pay attention to, right? These are things that they don't teach you in business school. But they are things that work because look, we live in a world where, people buy people buy things emotionally, so it's very important
to connect. Okay, so we're talking, it's important. Well, every business should think of at least owning a website, even if it's just a one-page website. You should. And I because 80% of my own customers, they come in through the website. They actually come. They find the business through the website.
I have a deal for you, by the way.
So I get it. Now, small businesses now, very thin shoestring, but I will always come back to, because I know that money is a thing for small businesses. So I would always come back to, budget. So with that kind of budget, what aspects, don't let me frame it that way. Let me just say, what aspects of online marketing do you think that small businesses should be outsourcing?
So the aspects of online marketing that I think small businesses should outsource really would be things that have to do with content creation. content creation. So you can be the community manager,
Okay.
right? You can be the community manager, managing your social media community as a small business owner.
Yeah.
But don't be the one creating the content, if that makes sense. Unfortunately, it's the other way around. So they employ people to manage the community and then, of course, create content. But the people you're employing to manage the community, what you call social media manager,
Okay.
they oftentimes do not have the competencies required to create quality content. I can be a good writer and not know jack about graphic design. No matter how much I describe in writing the product that you sell, it would not make sense to your target audience if they don't see it, So, so really, they should prioritize engaging people, freelancers possibly,
Okay.
who can piece together the content. So, if you're a good writer, makes it good, beautiful. So probably all you need is maybe a graphic designer for a start. Get a freelancer. If you have video elements you want to do also, maybe get one or two people who will do it for you so that you don't spend so much time. But the reason why I want you as a business owner to prioritize a community is because community management requires customer service. And that you cannot outsource at that stage. Nobody will sell your business more than you. Nobody will understand the reason why I should tell a customer I'm sorry more than you, because you know the value of the customer. So you will know how to engage people better, and that's what community management is. And then also, thankfully, for the content posting part of community management, there are tools available online. Facebook, for instance, has what they call the Meta Business Suite. Right? Under the Meta Business Suite, it has a planner, a social scheduling tool that at least for Facebook and Instagram, you are guaranteed. So if you do your content calendar for a whole month and your agent, your graphic designer, freelancer does all the designs and all, you can schedule your content for a whole month and move on. So all you're just doing is that you don't have to publish the content every day, just schedule it. And then at the end of the day, and that tool is free, and at the end of the day, you just look at, you are dealing more with customer feedback, customer service issues and all that, which is something that at that your scale, you want to do by yourself until you begin to grow, and then you can, employ more teams. So it's very simple. It's just like like I said, the Meta Business Suite is free. The other thing about it is, like I talked about the website. Now, you see, if you look at the story I narrated earlier on, there is nothing special, just Opolo. I want your back. It's just the brain.
Yeah.
It's just understanding brand value. So the only thing I probably have spent money on that was important in that thing is a website. Outside that, I create my emails, I communicate my business, I create the kind of image I want for my business, and that image is reflected in the way I communicate to them. So it's not, it's simple, because people do the wrong, they put the cart before the horse, right? They put the cart before the horse, which is wrong. So community management, you can do yourself easily. There are tools that make it easier for you. But you see, the issue of creating the content, content design, even content creation and curation, you might not be able to do it. So that's the part that I think you should think about.
So what I hear is, like, you can outsource how they can find you, but when it comes to I'm not sure if I'm right, but when it comes to when they find you, then you should be talking directly to your audience.
Well, I'm not sure that's particularly the exact way to put it.
Okay.
Right? Not outsource, because really you are the one posting the content. Remember, you are scheduling it. But just the process of content design.
Okay.
Content design. If you're not a good content creator, you can get one person to initiate the content creation, come up with the ideas, come up with the pillars and all that. Then another person does designs. That's enough.
Okay.
You schedule your content and you monitor. So and that by so doing also you retain control, which is another mistake people make. People don't understand the value of owning your digital assets. One mistake, and you had a problem. You remember with your website, and also one mistake we make is you get somebody to do a website for you, and then the person now becomes all in all. I mean, your own case, you were lucky with me.
I fell into good hands,
You fell into good hands because once you don't. So the first thing I always tell people to do, I tell my clients, right? If you can register the domain yourself. If you can't register the domain, that's your property. Own it. Because if you fall into the wrong hands, to transfer the domain will be war. Sometimes some people even use it to hold you down. Right. So register the domain yourself, host it if you can, then release credentials to somebody to help you design and all that. And once the person is done with everything they're doing, you might want to also change your password.